What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to another Vegas Odds Breakdown. I'm your host of Fight Analyst, Garrett Kerman. With me, as always, is my man, Joe Danger himself, Jesse Hobson. What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm excited to talk about fights. We have a decent Bellator card on deck. A lot of familiar names, a lot of, honestly, fighters that I'm fans of. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to break it down. And ultimately, I'm excited to be here with you, Garrett.
Absolutely, bro. I love doing this each and every week. We love doing it for you guys here on the Vegas Odds YouTube channel. And yes, Bellator 289 is on tap this Friday night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting on YouTube. And then I think it goes to Showtime pay-per-view after that. With that said, let's start. We're gonna do this main card only. Obviously, like with this up, we always do it here. So let's start with our first fight. Is in the middleweight division between Dalton Rasta and Anthony Adams. Right now, that line is minus 900 for Rasta, and the comeback on Anthony Adams is plus 625. Who do you got?
Looking into this right off the bat, the line is a little insane. Adams isn't really that bad. It's just that Rasta he's just that good. He's that guy. He's that prospect. Dude has actually faced some decent competition leading up to this fight as well. He could be something special down the line. He has the look. Now he really just needs to put it all together. I personally think that Adams is a nice test for him to see, if the juice is worth the squeeze, if you will, no pun intended. He is a muscly fellow, but Adams has lost both times that he was on Contender, and unfortunately this weekend or Friday, I think that he's just going to be another stepping stone. I like Dalton Rasta. I like him by decision just because I do think Adams could hang. But Ross is probably going to win either way.
Yeah, it's definitely obviously a showcase fight for Dalton Rasta just to get another dub, to look good. Meaning, obviously, looking at the line, minus 900. Dude's jacked out of his mind. He's got some power. He's got some wrestling chops. I think Adams will test him a bit here. I don't expect Ross to just come in there and absolutely just starch him like he's done to his opponents in the past. But like I said, should be a good matchup, a good stepping stone to another bigger fight down the line. Obviously, they're slow playing Rasta here, which they should. I think he still needs to improve on some things, and I feel like this cage time against Anthony Adams will definitely help him. I got Rasta to win, but would I be touching on minus 900? Absolutely not.
No.
All right, let's keep it moving. The next fight would be between Magomedov and Patchy Mix. Right now, the line is minus 130 for Magomedov. The comeback on Mix plus 110. Who do you got?
I'm a big fan of Mix, not only because he is named after like a 101 Dalmatian, but because he is very difficult to predict. He has this interesting style where he can really fight wherever the fight goes. That's a weird way to say it. He can defend and be offensive as well wherever the fight goes. It really comes down to Mix's BJJ though. If it is too much for Magomedov, then Mix wins. But if Mix spends too much time on his back, Magomed probably wins the decision. Both outcomes are very possible, the latter being the most likely to me. I like Magomedov by decision. And I think that we're getting a nice line here, too. I really feel like he's the side, Patchy Mix is good, but I just feel like he's not as good as the opposition in this one.
Yeah, I gotta stick with Magomedov. I had him like pretty much in all of his fights except for the fight that we'll be talking about soon. But I think he's a better striker of the two, better wrestler of the two. It just comes down to whether he can keep himself out of harm's way if he does take Mix down, and kind of grind him out. But ultimately, I think Magomedov should get this job done and then get to the finals and face who I think he's been, destined to face yet again. And I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to the main event that we'll be talking about in a few short minutes. But yeah, I got Magomedov winning via decision as well. I think Mix can take a punch better than Magomedov's previous opponents. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Agreed. He is fairly durable. It's going to be a decision. It's going to be fun, but
I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm really looking like this is the Bellator event that I've been really looking forward to the most out of the entire year. So we're going to be a good one. It'll be.
I don't think the Adams Rasta fight is all that bad either. Like it answers a lot of questions.
There's great fights in the prelims too. I mean, there's great fights all over this fight card. It's not just the main card. This entire fight card has some good prospects, some good fights on it. But
yeah, agreed.
We'll keep it moving. All right, our co-main event is for the women's flyweight championship between Liz Carmouche and Juliana Velasquez. Right now, the line is Velasquez minus 175 to come back on Carmouche plus 150. Who do you got?
I think that's a great line. We took a shot on Liz in the last fight. Fortunately, it paid off. And while I was happy with the win, we all know that stoppage was horrid. Velasquez was winning the fight, and if she does what she was doing last time and doesn't get caught, she should win this one handedly. I like the risk. I think the risk is worth the reward here. Minus 175 is not too bad. And then also, if you want to double up and go with the decision, if your book offers props, why not? She was leading the dance.
Plus 110 by decision.
Yeah, she was leading the dance, and I feel like she's going to do that too in this fight as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We got a little bit of luck on our side on Liz Carmouche in the first one, and she cashed out for us. But I can't expect for lightning to strike twice here. I just can't fathom that happening. Velasquez did well defending takedowns for the majority of that fight. She was on her way to winning 3 rounds to 1 going into the last round. She was a much better striker of the two. She was a taller, longer, more technical fighter. Liz Carmouche has literally got to come inside, get this fight to the mat, and keep her there and pound her away, because other than that, she's not winning this fight at range. She's at a massive disadvantage on the feet. So give me Juliana Velasquez getting her belt back.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to set it up for like an instant trilogy.
Probably.
I mean, it's weird though that Carmouche is even like still in the conversation. Like it's weird that she's a champ. Like it's.
I mean, it's Bellator. What do you expect? There's no one good. No one good there.
Yeah, all right. You say that, but then you have this next fight coming up. There is some decent guys in this next fight.
Right. I'm talking about in terms of women's MMA. There's no.
You could argue that for any group of women in women's MMA, but I don't want those pitchforks coming after me for that. We'll save that for the UFC card, because I have a lot to say about that one later on.
All right. Keeping it moving. We're up to our main event, the people's main event for certain. For the interim bantamweight championship, Rafion Stotts taking on Danny Sabatello. Right now, the line is minus 180 for Stotts to come back on Sabatello plus 155. Who do you got?
Awesome. Okay, so just if you're keeping score at home, just know that I have picked all favorites thus far. I picked all the favorites to win by decision thus far. I don't think Stotts will be able to stuff all of the takedowns from Danny Sabatello. All right. That being said, Stotts' best shot at winning this fight is if he finishes Sabatello. And that very well could happen. But despite Danny's mouth, he does have a hell of a fight IQ. And you best believe that in a 5-rounder, Sabatello will come for you takedown after takedown, all the while having the better gas tank. Stotts is the better rounded fighter. I will agree with you there, but something tells me that Sabatello will have the better game plan on Friday. I'm taking the Italian gangster by decision.
Interesting. Well, there's no way I'm going against Superstats here because
I know the score.
I've rode this man to this point. I've bet him every step of the way. He's cashed me time and time again, and there's no way I'm getting off this hype train here. We know that Danny Sabatello is a fantastic MMA wrestler. That's it. That's where it lies, and that's where it ends because he does absolutely nothing else that's good. Nothing. His striking is mediocre at best. His jiu-jitsu is mediocre at best. We've seen him get put into precarious situations on the mat because he's not a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's a good take you down, hold you down, keep you there. Is he going to be able to do that against Stotts? I don't think so. I don't believe he can, especially over 5 rounds of doing it and having to keep him down. Stotts is the more credentialed wrestler. Let's put it that way. I know Danny was a D1 All-American qualifier, but he was a qualifier and he lost. Stotts was a D2 national champion. He didn't just qualify for the tournament. He qualified and won the bitch. Okay, he didn't go in there and got a participation trophy. He came in there and won that shit. So, and yes, I know MMA wrestling is different than college wrestling and all that good stuff. But and then on the feet, it's a no contest. We know that Danny has absolutely 0% chance of winning this fight on the feet. He's not a good striker. He's gonna get hit. And if he slows down at any given point, he's gonna get knocked out. Much like the Irwin Rivera fight that everybody is neglecting to even look back to. He got his shit pushed in when he couldn't hold somebody down and his cardio failed him. The reason why his cardio has not failed him in Bellator is because no one's been able to defend the takedowns. Once you make this man work, his ass gets tired, just like Irwin Rivera was able to do. So it all boils down to Stotts defending takedowns and getting up. And like Stotts was saying, this is arguably the easiest fight for him to game plan for. He doesn't have to worry about anything but defending takedowns and chain wrestling, something he's been doing his entire life. So I don't expect this fight to be any different. I don't think it's going to be his toughest fight. I think the rematch against Magomedov is going to be a lot tougher fight because Magomedov can fight in the grappling. He can fight on the mat, and he can fight on the feet. Mm-hmm. Danny can't fight on the feet at all. He's not winning any of these exchanges on the feet. He's going to get hit a lot if he does go and get those takedowns. So I'm riding with Super Stotts. I got him in a Grand Prix tournament where we were what we did was we drew out of a hat, and then guys get to pick who they got. You know, I think I was the second pick. I think someone took Horiguchi, I think, before me. Right? Yeah. Someone took Magomedov before me. And then I took Super Stotts at number 2. I'm like, give me that all day. And look where we're at now. He had the easiest side of the bracket. All right. He comes in and gets the dub. Now he gets Danny Sabatello, who's a one-trick pony. He's only going to wrestle you to death. And then he goes in and goes to the million and faces a guy that he already beat in Magomedov. And I'm going to cash in on him this weekend. And when he goes and faces Magomedov for the millie. Let's go, Super Stotts.
I would have picked Danny. I would have picked Danny number 1, number 2, number 3.
You're crazy. Man.
I'm surprised the line is as wide as it is, to be honest with you.
I think it should be wide. I thought it should be wider, for sure.
Well, I hope the public hears you.
You look at it, I mean, who is Danny beating?
I don't know. Everyone.
Exactly.
The people, you could argue that the other way.
No, because who's Super Stotts beating?
I don't know.
You can name them. I mean, Magomedov right there, better than Danny. Juan Archuleta, better than Danny.
Yeah. But Archuleta's also like, I don't know, he's kind of on a downward.
Josh Hill, another guy he beat. That's a good win. I mean, Josh Hill's better than anybody that Danny Sabatello beat. And Josh Hill's not even that good.
Yeah, the one thing that Stotts does have going for him is that he's from Houston, Texas, born and raised.
Trains with what's his name out of Houston, Texas too. I mean, he trains at a Metro fight team over there, and Adrian Yanez trains with him over there.
Yeah, it says is he still with Rufus Sport, or is he just in?
No, he's just over there in Houston.
Well, that keeps him young then.
Yeah,
I mean he's only 33 too.
18-1, man. He's fought some.
But Danny's 29.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Danny beat Blackshear, Johns, Chris Johnson. I mean, but those were also a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be an interesting fight. I think part of me really wants Danny to win just to talk shit.
Oh yeah, and then also like Stotts didn't lose to Erwin Rivera.
I agree. I don't know. Something is telling me that Stotts will win 2 rounds and Danny's going to win 3, and it's going to be a greasy decision. And in that case, I would rather take the plus money odds,
right?
And hope that Danny pulls those weird sunglasses out of his pocket.
I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I personally think Stotts is going to knock him out. I don't think it's going to be a decision. I think he's going to go in there and he's going to knock his ass out, probably like Erwin Rivera did in probably 3rd or 4th round. Once Danny starts to get tired from grappling because he's not going to be able to strike here. So the dude's going to get tired. It's not like Stotts is a bad, wrestler. I mean, you look at Danny's only faced bad wrestlers. I mean, Erwin Rivera is not even a great wrestler, and he wasn't even able to control him, and he got tired. I know I keep reverting back to that fight, but that's the only fight that he really had adversity in terms of the grappling. When someone had adversity against him and he couldn't take them down and keep him down and take him down over and over again, he got finished. So if Stotts, it's a big if he's able to defend and make him work and keep his fight on the feet, he wins. But we've seen what Danny's been able to do to other people, so we'll see what happens.
Well, it's, the only really big claim to fame that Erwin has is the loss to Giga, because I think I bet like $500 on that.
I'm not even going to say what he's famous for now, though, but yeah. Well,
what's that?
You don't know why he got cut from the UFC and everything?
No.
Where he went batshit crazy and
yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not gonna go into that. But yes. That's Erwin Rivera, everybody. That's Erwin Rivera. That's the guy.
It's a family show.
That Danny Sabatello got finished by in round 4. So yeah. That's what we got for you guys. That's Bellator 289 on tap Friday night. Starts at 5:30 ESPN. PM Eastern Standard Time on Bellator YouTube. Then it switches to Showtime pay-per-view. We will be back next week